It feels like individuality is really hard to find on social media these days. And I don't think it's because there's a lack of creative people or innovative people out there. I think it's because the algorithms and the prospect of monetization and money have made it really hard to stay individual on social media. When I think about the way that a lot of social media platforms have evolved and the way that you now have things such as trending audio, or even Instagram's new feature where you can take the same exact way someone edited something like a reel and use it yourself. You're doing the same TikTok dances, you're making thumbnails that look the same. Videos that have the same aesthetic are really doing well. People's lives start to look the same, the creators look the same. Even these types of videos complaining about these problems start to sound the same. At what point are all of us just going to get very sick of seeing the same narrative? I think it's already starting to happen. I think I see a little bit of a shift, and I think other people have also talked about this, but me being on here, my experience being on here for a very short amount of time, I feel like I am, to a certain extent, fighting to maintain my individuality on this platform. Even if you don't rely on social media for any type of money, like you are not monetized at all, I think it becomes a lot harder when you think about the possibilities of what could happen if you were to start to gain a following and get more subscribers and get monetized, because it's almost like this idea, this potential that you feel like you could unlock is hanging over your head, telling you that every time you create something, every time you make a thumbnail, even if like getting paid for your content is not your main goal or your end goal, it's like the allure of the possibility of that happening is still very, very attractive. I need to have a discussion about how I feel about thumbnails and titles on YouTube specifically, because I think that you can see this from two perspectives of being a creator or being a consumer. From the creator's perspective, it's kind of annoying. Like, it's annoying that you have to package your video into an attractive enough title and thumbnail to make someone want to click it. I feel like this kind of encourages, clickbait, if not blatant clickbait, gray clickbait, ridiculous stunts or video concepts just to get views, saying controversial or harmful things to generate engagement with your content, putting forth a lot of photoshopped images, and kind of a reality that is just very manufactured and isn't real. To a certain extent, as a creator, sometimes it can be fun and a challenge to try and see how you can hook viewers. But I think that all in all, from my perspective and like what I currently want to be doing with YouTube, it's mostly annoying. From a consumer perspective though, I get it, because I am also a consumer on YouTube, and I know how many different videos that I look through and what I focus on when I'm choosing videos to watch. And it is, or at least prior to starting my own channel, it was the title, the thumbnail, and how many views the video had. And videos with a lot of views I felt were a measure of trustworthiness, a measure of quality, and videos with lower view counts, I thought something was wrong with them. But now it's been interesting to see that as I've started to make YouTube videos and upload them, I actually have, I wouldn't say I've completely stopped watching videos with high view counts, but I've definitely seen my content consumption shift from only popular established creators who have hundreds of thousands of followers, if not millions of followers and subscribers, to really enjoying and engaging with content from smaller creators who have maybe less than 1,000 subscribers and their videos have less views. And I think that as someone who is also just starting out making videos, I have realized that a lot of times the content of videos is actually really good, but it does again come down to the way that they're marketed. And so, I don't know, I guess I just feel this interesting tension of, do you want to watch this video or not? And that's a question that both the creator and the consumer are asking. And I feel like from my own perspective, it's kind of like, I don't know. Should I? Convince me. When I was an undergrad, I had a history professor who didn't allow us to have electronics in class. We had to take handwritten notes only unless there were special accommodations. And she said at the beginning of the semester, I don't care if you daydream. And I remember finding that very strange as a student. I was like, what do you mean? Don't you want me to be paying attention to every single word that you say? And she told us that daydreaming, having your brain go somewhere else, is very normal. And the reason that she didn't want us to have laptops in class was because she knew that given our generation and our relationship with technology, if we started to feel our minds going off away from the lecture, we would probably automatically go open our email, go to social media, do online shopping, whatever. And she really wanted to encourage us. She said, it's natural for your brain to go elsewhere, and eventually it will come back and refocus on what I'm saying in class. She basically said, it's okay to be bored. From a creator and a consumer perspective, I believe this to be true. Because as a consumer, you can love and appreciate a creator and still be bored by some of their content. That's okay. You don't have to be fully invested in everything that they do. And I think from a creator's perspective, people can still enjoy your videos and support you and be bored sometimes with what you're doing and what you're creating. And you can do a ton of mental gymnastics around trying to get people to click on your video, trying to make the perfect title so that people are watching and engaging, and you can do all these, tricks and edits and cuts and everything to try and get people to stay and watch every part of your video and like and subscribe and do all these things. I think that much as I have already excused myself from the rat race that is tenure track positions in academia, I don't want to do that. I don't really have the capacity to do that. And I haven't even been making videos that long. I was watching this interview that Mr. Beast did, and he was talking about how every time you make a video, try to think about how you could have made it better. And while I definitely think that is a goal of mine, I am giving myself permission to exit the, rat race that is YouTube analytics. If this is your full-time job and you really care about it, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I don't know that it's worth it to change yourself, what you're doing, in the hopes that you will make people watch your video at the expense of your own creative expression, your own creative outlook and vision. And people might not watch your video. You might get less views, you might get no views, but I think that depending on what your goal is, that's okay.